story, something that happened in my lab. Maybe you'll be interested. Can you all see these slides? Okay. So this slide here. Can we turn the lights on? Is that possible? Yeah. Great. So I'd like you to look at this slide. So in the left panel here is what bone marrow looks like in you, a person who's not sick. You see there are many types of cells. The large circles are fat cells. Normal bone marrow looks like this. And on the right-hand side is what happens when a person has a blood cancer, like a leukemia. You can see that much of the diversity of the normal bone has changed, and it's been replaced by one type of cell. So this is what a cancer looks like in the bone marrow. And so your doctor might diagnose such a patient and say this person has cancer, a blood cancer. So I've been working in this area for a long time. And this gene I mentioned at the top, the RD2, we think is important in cancers. So how do we study such a thing? In many ways, I think we are all mechanics. We're mechanics of the cell. So the way we study things without an instruction manual, there's no manual for our cell. We have to figure out, how does this work? So if you were to fix a car, or to understand how a car works, you might open the hood and listen to the engine running. And then what would you do? Maybe adjust something. Maybe the engine goes faster or louder. Or maybe you take something out, and then the engine stops, and then you think, aha! I've learned something about how this engine works. It's the same thing with us and cells. So in cancers, often the cell is like an engine that's stuck on. The car is revving. And sometimes we learn about that by putting something into the cell, and the cell takes off, begins to grow. And sometimes we take things out, and cells slow down. So to study this gene, one thing I thought we could do would be to take it out. And so we use a model of a mouse. So I said to my trainee, I said, let's disrupt this gene in the mouse and see what happens. And my prediction was that if we would get no mice, there would be no cells that wouldn't work, because we think it's at high levels it causes cancer, but at low levels the cells don't survive. So we began the experiment. He came to me and said, you know these mice? Well, they look fine. And I said, what do you mean they're fine? They should not be fine. And he said, well, I've checked 3 times, and they're fine. And in fact, they're gaining weight. And I said, why are they gaining weight? I don't understand. And he said, well, I don't either. In fact, they became very fat. So WW here on the left is a normal mouse, and W/low is the mouse in which this gene has been disrupted. These mice gained incredible amounts of weight. They weighed the equivalent of a 225 kilogram person. And I said, oh no. Now we have to study them. Well, it was a crisis. I said, what do I know about obesity? I don't know nothing. So in this situation, you have a choice. You can pick up your phone and call your mother and say, Mom, something strange has happened and I think I'm in the wrong field. Or you can say, this is not my job. Somebody else can do this. I'm going to do what I think I know. Or your third choice is to say, I need help. I need colleagues, I need friends, I need people who know about this to help me figure this out. So this is what I had to do. Fortunately, in my university, there are many people who study obesity, and so I said to them, help please, I don't know what to do. And they helped. So my colleagues stepped up and educated me about obesity. So this is just a graph of these mice. This is not on anything high fat. This is a normal diet. If you look at the bottom of this graph, here's the age of the mouse in months. So the normal mouse gains weight, and this obese mouse gains much, much more weight, weighing 100 grams. So a 100-gram mouse is like a 225-kilogram person. So I guess my message to you is, it's time to ask for help when something strange happens. Take the responsibility and get help. And very exciting things can follow. Oh, great. Perfect, thank you. How much more time do I have? What am I doing? Just a couple minutes. Great. The real question is, what does this mean? So, for an obese person, a doctor will do a thing called a glucose tolerance test. So this means giving a person a large container of sugar water to drink. When you do this, your blood sugar goes up like this over time. These are minutes before you can inject glucose. So sugar goes up in the blood and then it comes down. If a person is obese and developing diabetes, this goes very high and stays up. So this would be a diagnosis that perhaps you have a problem with your blood glucose. However, these fat mice did the opposite. They handled their glucose even better than regular mice. So this is very shocking to me. There are actually people like this. Sumo wrestlers. These guys are big. They are actually very healthy. They have normal glucose, and they don't have metabolic problems or heart problems. They are very healthy. American football players too. And I think partly it's because of their exercise. So something that we don't quite understand yet is how does exercise protect a very obese person? Is for sure that when these individuals stop exercising, they become very unhealthy. So I think this is very interesting. So to come back to the point about cancer, what my work has recently been showing is that these kinds of healthy obese people have less cancer than people who are obese and not healthy. So it comes back to cancer in the end. But this would not be possible without my colleagues who helped me. So this is my challenge to you. Something unexpected will happen to you in your research careers. Something you did not expect that was strange, bothered you. I encourage you to seek help. Find your friends, find your colleagues. Help them form a team and figure the problems out. Thank you.